I want to have a very quick look at the main mixer window found at the top right of our Vegas user interface so that we can differentiate it from the mixing console that we saw in the tutorials at the start of this section. As you can see, it features a stereo master output bus that allows you to adjust the master volume of all the combined audio tracks that you might have on your track list as part of your developing project. And if you want to see quick information about the project that you are working on, just left-click here and expand ever so slightly to the left to reveal this project is running at 48 kHz and at 16-bit for the audio. I'll just take it back in by left-clicking and dragging to the right. On our main mixer master output here, you'll find the master output fader that you can drag down to decrease the overall volume of all the combined tracks sent to the master output here. I'll take it back up to register at the neutral level of 0 dB. Okay, that's the master output bus, and we'll be able to see it again on the mixing console. So by contrast, I think you now know that the mixing console looks more like a traditional mixing desk found in a recording studio, or indeed a virtual mixing desk found in software music production software such as Cubase or Pro Tools, in that it features pretty much everything an audio engineer would come to expect from a traditional mixing desk, be it hardware or software based. To access our mixing console, you can go up to View on the menu bar and then down there to where it says Mixing Console. And once open and sized, expanded and positioned comfortably for your preference, we can see it features multiple channel strips horizontally across its width. I'm going to close it down for the moment so I can remind you of the quicker way of accessing it. All you need to do is click on this somewhat innocuous looking button here next to the master output. Once you click it, the mixing console opens up as before, and once here, you'll see the same information as we saw a few moments ago here, informing us about our project running at 48 kHz and at 16-bit for the audio. Moving down slightly here, you'll see the channel list navigator. For example, on track 2, we have the rough mix of our audio, and selecting it both highlights it here and on the mixing console channel strip area. Of course, the same applies when we select the other tracks too. As you can see, clicking on the track name skips to that channel strip, identifiable by its track color and name, and furnished at the right-hand side with the master output channel strip. Incidentally, unchecking a track here makes it disappear from view, but by rechecking it, well, we can immediately bring it back. If you want to tailor the look of your mixing console, you can do by going to this Views button. Click the drop reveal arrow there to alternate between viewing the channel list and view controls. Now they're both checked at present, so we see both options. But if I uncheck the channel list, then of course that aspect of the mixing console disappears from view. I'll click here again to bring it back into view, and in fact I'll slightly expand here. Now you might remember from an earlier tutorial, I can grab this zoom slider and adjust the width of each channel strip. As a result, I can now see all these buttons here. Now do click on them to activate or deactivate them from view as necessary for your project. Now I'm actually going to leave it set like this, seeing as I've only got, at the present time, a couple of audio tracks in view with our master output and the preview channel there, just to the left. By the way, you can easily add extra tracks here within the mixing console by clicking on this drop reveal and going to the relevant option here. In our case, this is audio track, and by selecting it, I now have an empty audio track ready for me to add any pre-recorded content or to directly record onto it. Now, I'll just use the zoom out slider to reduce the width of the channels now, and there you'll see track 4 has been added. I want to change it from what it's at the moment, i.e. it hasn't got a name. I want to change it to guitar, so all I have to do is click on it to change it to guitar. Okay, so that track's now ready for me to add some guitars later on down the line. Now, if you're not particularly familiar with the mixing console like this, and therefore by association with channel strips, I'll quickly define what an actual channel strip is. A loose definition of a channel strip is it's a section of the mixer that is dedicated to one audio track, and this can be either stereo or mono, and on each channel strip you'll find controls specific to just that audio track. And once we realise that each audio track, stereo or mono, in our track list gets its own channel strip here in the mixing console, it's easy to see that these controls allow you to adjust and tailor your audio creatively, correctively, or both. Now, as pretty much any audio-intensive Vegas project develops and progresses, you'll often find yourself building up multiple audio tracks and buses. As a consequence, the mixing console, like this, is extremely useful because each channel strip within it, pertaining to the relevant audio track from our track list, allows us to edit or adjust the sound of a specific track, and here's the important bit, it allows for this without affecting the other tracks. Okay, so that's a quick overview then of the mixing console and channel strips in general.